Esprit, Chapter 4, Part 2. I wasn't too far behind the ambulance. I saw the cute paramedic. I learned his name was Jeff from his name tag, which I saw briefly. He told me she would probably be fine and touched my hand. He'd been engaged. She turned out to be psycho. Good news for me, I guess. But didn't anyone carry around a happy memory? Just one? I stayed in the ER lobby playing on my phone for a few hours. It occurred to me I didn't know how long I'd stay, but I wasn't leaving until I knew Mama was okay. I texted Sam and asked him to bring me a charger and a toothbrush. Then my phone died. I guess I should have called my job instead of playing Candy Crush, ruminating on all the images I'd seen, but oh well. After I charged my phone, I called my job. Because it was graduation night, my boss didn't believe that my mother fell. Whatever, I didn't care anymore. I was changing departments as soon as my degree came in the mail. I was moving up to admin. The job was secure. The company had paid for my MBA as long as I stayed with them and moved to admin. Because it was still medical, I could make more with an MBA somewhere else. But I didn't want to have to pay back the degree. I could give them 5 more years. I'd already given them 5 as a CNA. So I didn't care if Janice didn't believe me. Thinking about work made me dizzy. All the coworkers and patients I'd touched in the past 6 months. My head was swimming. It was better when I was wearing gloves, but not much. I'd almost considered wearing them full time, but there was the occasional prolonged arm bump, touch, whatever. They didn't protect against all, so it wasn't even worth it. The older paramedic had almost drowned once. Jeff's crazy fiancé had torched his car. I hoped he was done with her by then. The other paramedic had failed out of medical school, and Claire had cheated on Tom. Did that count as a happy memory? She certainly looked happy, but that wasn't Tom. Tom was sterile. It wasn't Claire that had fertility issues. It was Tom. Had he always known that? How long before he knew Zoe wasn't his? I remembered how happy they both were when Claire got pregnant, so it must have been after that he discovered he'd never father a child. But not long. Claire wasn't showing in her memory, that I saw, the memory where they discovered Tom was sterile. The doctor's words voiced over the image like a narrator. "You're sterile, Tom." The word sterile seemed to bounce around the room, echo off the white walls. All of this in a nanosecond. Time didn't make sense. An eternity in a microsecond. Tom's angry face in that memory now made sense. But Zoe had an irregular heartbeat long after that, and I remembered how scared they both were. Maybe he was keeping up pretenses? I had so much to sort through. None of it made sense. Least of all, why I knew any of this. I wished I had a pensieve. End of chapter 4.